Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Shadowrun Hongkong. Wir haben jetzt hier diese Tante besiegt und können wieder zurück nach Hause. The elevator panel awaits your selection. Take the elevator to the penthouse floor. Boom. Gucken, ob jetzt hier irgendwas ist. No. Drüm. Na, wo man nicht. Dann gehen wir wieder runter. Dahin. Blüm. Wir könnten nochmal ein Gespräch mit denen führen. Ne, mit dem nicht. Nö. Dann gehen wir nach Hause, würde ich sagen. Schließen wir die ganze Geschichte ab. Confirm. The clink of glasses and sound of Neville mass party fades into the distance as you leave the Repulse Bay. As the MTR carries you toward Heoi, the mountains of Hong Kong Island roll by as the looming masses obscured by rain and storm clouds. Penelope Wong has been fired from promises in Moonlight, and Ma will be at a serious disadvantage without her. The whims of Trit viewers shift as readily as the tide, and without the starlet's presence, promises in Moonlight will undoubtedly lose ratings. What's more, you've managed to turn a powerful foe into a potential ally. Only time will tell how Ku Feng will repay you. However, oder will repay you, however. Flüm. Ja, lad. Hängt ein wenig. Ist das Spiel abgeschmatzt? Ne, da kommt was. Karma gained 4. Give the evidence on Neville Ma to Dr. Shenyang. Go to the Emperor's Tomb Museum. Achso, das ist das andere. Der Typ ist weg. Mal gucken, ob der jetzt was Neues zu sagen hat zu der... Oh, da ist auch wieder wer Neues. Glaring Orc. Oh, und da haben wir wieder was zu steigern. Yo, Korda, welcome back to the palace. You got anything interesting to tell me today? He looks at the heap of wearable computers, PDAs and chip decks on his nearby workbench. Cause I got nothing but fixing hair curlers and debugging old ladies' PDAs. I swear I'm gonna die of boredom. I've got some metadata for you. Yo, tell me what you've got. The network runs on information. Entertainment, Bigwig Neville Ma has a vampire associate. She healed him after his recent auto-wreck in exchange for living the high life. Never mind. You got to go? Okay, watch your back and shoot straight and all. Law grins at you, the dexterous flashes a hand sign that Shadowrunners give each other in Holowitz shows. Got things to do too. Reden wir mal hier. Mit Glaring Orc. A diminutive female orc regards you with a sharp, challenging look. The fierceness of her expression contrasts starkly with her sweet, rounded face and neat bob. She flexes her cyber fists. She fires off a rapid fire reproach in a thick Filipino accent. Why are you staring like that? Didn't anybody teach you manners? She plants her fists on her leather-clad hips and just juts her chin out at you. Relax, didn't mean to stare. She gives you an unwavering, sidelong gaze. You're a stranger on my turf. I expect people to be civil to one another. No offense intended. If you insist, sure, I apologize. She blinks and her jaw unclenches. It's alright. I can tell you're a newcomer. I just feel a little protective of my part of town. The orc looks up and down. Finally, with a gruff nod, she introduces herself. I'm Rosario Ignacio, or to the members of my community, Cherry Pink. I specialize in transport missions and nanny services, and I occasionally Shadowrun for walking around money. I can also fry up a mean batch of lumpia, but you can't have any unless I like you. Cherry Pink seems like an odd choice for a street name. You say that you make great lumpia. What is that exactly? Filipino spring rolls, crispy and delicious, and full of pork, or whatever pork-flavored substitute is on sale. It's important to be frugal. I want some lumpia. Everyone's lumpia! She puts her hands on her hips. Not everyone deserves it. Cherry Pink seems to be an odd choice for a street name. She glowers at you. It's a bona fide Filipino nickname. Unless you want a mouthful of fist, you show it respect. You said that you're a nanny? She nods enthusiastically. Look around. You see these Shadowrunners and dealers of contraband and Johnsons? There's a fair number who have kids, though they wouldn't shout it from the rooftops. It's usually too dangerous to keep family close. That's where I come in. Shadow nannies are a great idea. No more bringing my baby into combat situations. The orc raises her chin proudly. I've shuttled kids in and out of war zones. I've gone into hiding with the little ones for months on end, while their parents had to lay low. I've taught children good manners, hygiene, and the proper use of firearms for over 20 years. You were in a survival situation and you were worried about hygiene? Hey, that's fascinating. She looks at you with pity. You never had a good nanny. I can see it in your eyes. I can smell it too. There must be something wrong with your nose. I smell as fresh as a pine forest. She smirks. I usually nanny children, but you're a prime candidate for some remedial lessons in cleanliness. No offense. Do lessons come with the lumpia? Sign me up. She shakes her head and mutters something about Shadowrunners nowadays. I just want to make a friendly conversation and people only ever want lumpia. It's shameful. No, you cannot have lumpia. You may only desire it from afar. What happened in the Philippines that you can't go back? The Japanese imperial state happened, supposedly. They've been in charge there for decades. I was just a little girl when they sent the Imperial Marines in. They destroyed my old neighborhood. I don't remember the events, but I still dream of fire to this day. How to get out? Half my family fled to the mountains. The other half left the country and eventually scattered all over the globe. I didn't grow up close to anyone but my parents, who are now gone. What's the political situation like? The Japanese have run up against resistance from a group that came to be known as the Hook Nationalists, neo-anarchists, but the resistance ultimately gets its backing from a dragon, Masaru. While the struggle continues, the country can't heal. Could you smuggle yourself in and find your remaining family? No, I couldn't just waltz in and start looking. Besides, my relatives could be barricaded in caves avoiding GIS forces and GIS forces, for all I know. Hate to say it, but I don't think they stand a chance against the JIS. Sounds like you're not even trying to look for her. What does? She snorts and lifts a chin high. Filipinos are a resilient people. I think the hack will triumph eventually, and if I've got a Filipino community around me, I'm good. Thanks for talking about it anyway. Not many people care enough to bother. We didn't run too far. Why not leaving Hong Kong? I couldn't go back to Manila because of those JIS scumbags, but there's always been a large community of Filipinos in the shadows. I sought them out. What you get? Your cyberware. There's always been a large community of Filipinos in the shadows. I reached out and they all pitched to set me up as a Shadowrunner. Now, whenever I hand a good gig, I give most of my earnings away, giving back to the community. I don't get why you give away your hard-earned money. Surely, your debt's paid. Do you ever have regrets about leaving your old life behind? She looks away suddenly, her eyes moisturing. I'm not sentimental about my old past, if that's what you mean. The orc takes a big breath and continues. But on Sundays, my only day off, I used to go and sit with the other nannies and housekeepers. We'd bring pieces of cardboard so we could sit on the ground in the shade under bridges. We'd gossip, eat lumpia and rice cake. Nothing special. But I don't belong to that world anymore. I couldn't risk a word getting back to my old employer. I miss my old friends though. Let's talk about something else. If you like, how did you go from babysitting to running in the shadows? Her cheeks flush. Well, I used to take care of the children of a wuxing bigwig up in the peak. Turned out she was a ship-owning a corporate funds to support both the gambling addiction and extravagant lifestyle. She got sloppy and I stumbled across some pretty damning documents as I was tidying the house. I couldn't unsee them much as I wished, and I started to fear for my life. She was growing desperate, erratic. So I ran. Let's talk about something else. Walk away, I should go. If you like. She nods at you, be on your way then. So, was haben wir hier? Da können wir jetzt was Besseres auswählen. Quickness bekommt die dazu. Gain Red Totem, Steal Spirit. Gobbet's Red Totem invocation can steal control of spirits that have been summoned by enemy shamans. Note that only one spirit can be under controls of rank 5 spirit control, where it increases to 2. Red Totem destroys spirit. Red Totem invocation does 99 damage to any hostile spirit. The spell can only be used on spirits. Nehmen wir das. Dann, was haben wir hier? Scope, Gain Ability, Steady Shot. Gains a pistol ability that's increased accuracy by 30% and critical chance by a small amount for one shot. Cost 2, cooldown 3. Integrated Tactical Computer marks weak point in opponent's armor as its mark target ability now reduce the target's armor by 1. Nein, besser treffen. Gain Ability Mercy Kill. Duncan against ein... Kriegt er gar nichts hier? Das ist ja scheiße. Gains an assault rifle ability that has a 99% chance to hit an enemy who has less than 25% HP remaining, plus 2 damage, cooldown 2. Das klingt doch sehr gut. Duncan's subdue ability has its cooldown reduced to 3 rounds from 3 rounds to 2 rounds. Subdue habe ich gar nicht gesehen. Nehmen wir das. Gain ability Shuriken. Gaicho gains a ranged ability, a quick shuriken toss, damage 2, blah blah, Ghoul, Spit, Gaicho gains a ranged ability, spitting infected saliva into the target's face, ignores all armor, damage 8, with an additional 4 damage to 2 rounds, max range 10, count cooldown 2. Das. Predator, Shotgun Mount. Rector's Drone gains an auto shotgun Mangler. Rector's Drone Koshai gains a mounted saw blade arm, the melee system. This attack's critical chance is greatly boosted. Nehmen wir das. Jawohl. Gehen wir das ja mal ab. Ich kann noch mal gerade gucken, ob hier noch irgendwo wer Neues war. Theoretisch müsste man jetzt hier rumlaufen, wir mit allen quatschen, das werde ich aber nicht tun. A hover drone loiters in front of Matthew, a steam of profanity is spewing from its scratchy speakers. People nearby are looking away, ignoring the awkward situation. Na gut, jetzt machen wir das hier durch. Matthew's cigarillo is dead, drenched by rain. He stands with the signature nonchalance oder so, but the edges of his face are twitching, his eyes are wide with fear. You could listen in, but you've already got the gist. Matthew is being chewed out. Hang back and wait. The drone speakers finish with a shriek of feedback and clack back into its full. The drone soars up in the sky and races up a river. Matthew shakes himself off. His cheesy demeanor surges back with striking resilience. He turns toward you, a little wild-eyed but otherwise restored to his usual self. Kordanor, I hardly saw you there. Come on, don't be a stranger, beautiful. Who are you talking to through the hover drone? One of my suppliers, Koing Cha. Ha! Really good businessman, sharp guy. Sees opportunity where the most of us only see broken parts. Funny guy, makes me laugh my ass off. What's the business arrangement with Koing Ha? Koing Ha is a funny guy, you say? Yeah, I was laughing my ass off over here. Thanks, ne? Und das? I sell on commission, got to keep these bots moving. They don't earn, they keep sitting out in the barge. They don't own most of the drones. Matthew's bros arch up in surprise. Of course not. How could I afford them? I'm so lucky to have a guy like Koing Ha as a partner. Only problem is, he's got me laughing in stitches so much, it sometimes distracts me from sales. Koing Ha's funny guy, you say? Can now sound unhappy. Oh, that's just Koing Ha. He's like a paper tiger. Matthew sways back and forth on his feet, languid and jittery at the same time. He's a big joker, always shouting, but I think he's a real softie at heart, real big heart for the little people, keeps me well stocked. Koing Ha's funny guy, you say? Yeah, I was laughing my ass off over here. Matthew gives you a long, awkward smile. The seconds stretch out, he blinks uncomfortably. Then he speaks, his words sound stilted, like he's repeating a mantra. He's a funny guy. Matthew adjusts his suit lapels with mechanical gusto. Who? What a pep talker. That Koing Ha. I feel like I could take on the world right now. Goodbye. Ja, also ich fühle mich da immer so ein bisschen zu gezwungen, diese ganzen Dialoge durchzumachen, obwohl es halt ziemlich unsinnig wahrscheinlich ist. The three men are once again fixated on their game board. Jin rubs his hands together nervously, his face twisted in concentration. It appears that Shiu now has the upper hand. The silence of the game is deafening. Amateur players would be filling the air with clicks and clacks of the stones against the wooden playing board, relentlessly trying to outdo one another. These men are different. Shiu picks up a small black stone. His hand reaches over the board, then pauses. Jin stares at the outstretched hand. Suddenly still, Shiu begins to lower the stone. Down, down. Jin is practically on his toes, and then Shiu pulls his hand back. Perhaps not there. He strokes his short beard thoughtfully. Jin tosses his arms into the air, nearly knocking over the playing board. Damn it, Shiu! When you start a move, you commit to it. I swear, if you're doing this on purpose. Friends, Law interrupts the players. We have a visitor. The two players look up. Jin sighs and holds his face in one hand, mutters something beneath his breath. Shiu's eyes fix on you. He stares unspeaking. His generous smiles and playfulness from before are absent. Sorry to interrupt, I was just wondering if you're still having dreams. This again, don't you have anything better to do? Yes, we are still having the dreams. Lau's voice is calm but troubled. However, they've gotten a hell of a lot worse. Jen shifts uncomfortably. Look, let's not go into detail. Anything would be great. He mulls this over. Alright, but afterward you have to let us finish your game. Sure. He nods approvingly, then glances at Lau and Shiu before continuing. Our dreams have become unpleasant, so to say, darker, violent. He runs his hand along his tightly cropped beard. Not all that healthy, if you ask me, especially for men of our age. We come out of them in a day sometimes. Feels like we've been punched into the senses. And the imagery, you can see him shiver as he thinks about it. Well, I said no details, so no details. That about sums it up, Shiu. Master Lau, I have nothing more to add. Shiu, Shu eyes bore into you. No, nothing. Is everything alright, Shu? You've been staring at me a while. Shu continues to stare at you, his face pale. He opens his mouth, closes. He seems to be struggling to find words. What's wrong with you, Shu? You'd better not be having a stroke. We're in the middle of a game. If Shu heard Jin, he doesn't show it. He looks at you and his eyes widen. You need to go faster. His voice is urgent, pleading. The shadows that follow you are getting closer. Excuse us, Kordo, our friend is tired. Lo clasps a hand to Shu's shoulder, who doesn't seem to notice. These dreams have taken a toll on all of us. Please come back some other time. Understood. Take care. Na gut. Reden wir mit dem Hoshi. Xiang is busily puffing away on a foul-smelling cigar, his comlink in one hand, his eyes flash with anticipatory glee as he sees you. Dr. Shenyang greets you in the name of all producers. How did Shinding go? I've got the information you wanted. Let me tell you about the night we had. Did you know Neville as a vampire ally? Never does. You explain the night's events from start to finish. As you speak, Shenyang's face grows ever more incredulous, until finally his mouth is left hanging halfway open. He slowly places the cigar in a nearby ashtray and shakes his head in disbelief. Vampires in the Trid industry? A vampire queen? No less? What a nightmare. At least you got me wrong, and poor Neville's show is dead. That's something. Alright, kid, I sent payment to your Matrix job. You earned it. Glad to be able to help. Dr. Shenzang about to speak, but his comlink begins to buzz. Irritated, he answers it and switches to speaker mode. Yeah, who is it? What do you want? Neville Ma. Hello, Shenyang. Just wanted to let you know that I've released Penelope Wong from her contract. If you're still interested in her, she's all yours. Also, I hope your business is doing alright. I'd heard you'd had some problems with cash flow. If you need a loan, I'd be happy to help. Dr. Shenyang eyes the image of Neville Ma with deep suspicion. You don't sound too mad, Nev. What's the catch here anyway? You must have the next big thing lined up already. Oh, Doctor, there's no need for it. Do you want to know why I keep winning our little contests and you're always playing catch up? It's because you think people like Miss Wong actually matter. They don't. Stars are crafted, molded out of talent, yes, but ultimately constructed. With enough time and effort, anyone can be made into a star. It's just a question of manipulating public perception. Maybe so, but I got her now, and your show is dead in the water without the star. What do you think of that, eh? I think that I'm going to do what any good soap opera producer would do. Write her character out with a tragic death and bring on someone new. You will labor under the misapprehension that viewers have loyalty. They don't. They only have appetite. As long as you chase stars like Wong, you will lose. Don't be afraid to think bigger, Doctor. I'll reach for the drama, not the dramatists. With that, Neville Ma hangs up on Dr. Shenyang. For the next 30 seconds, Dr. Shenyang releases a stream of violently imaginative invectives at his phone. Even Strangler Bo looks taken aback at the ferocity of Shenyang's anger and the inventiveness of the sexual positions that he describes. Finally, he takes a deep breath and composes himself. That dirty little weasel insulting my creativity like that. The nerve! Go on, kid, we're done. Thanks for all your help, but I gotta get going. I gotta talk to a guy about buying a bunch of snakes. Hast du was zu sagen? No time for runners now. Okay. Dann gehen wir wieder und holen wir erstmal unser Cash. New messages. Urgent task. From Kindly Cheng. Urgent task. Little birds have been whispering in my ear about an urgent and high-paying run. Steel Arm Lu, a red pole, managed to get his hands on information concerning a prototype laser weapon development by Ares Asia Holdings. For years, Yellow Lotus and the Red Dragon have been locked into a cold war. Despite this, we remain evenly matched. Neither one of us can attack the other without being exposed to devastating reprisals. Lu wants to change this, and he has a plan. Rather than strike directly, Lu intends to aim external forces at the Red Dragon, specifically Knight Errant. He intends to frame a white paper fan named Golden Fong, making it appear that the Red Dragon have been bribing Ares researchers for classified data. Two leading drone and energy weapons researchers have recently transferred from London to Hong Kong and are running the project. Doctors Taylor and Hardingham were respected in Europe, but in Hong Kong they remain unknown quantities. They are untrusted and therefore are considered untrustworthy. Perfect targets, in other words. We will provide data that will make it look as if the researchers were contacted by Golden Fong and made quite a bit of money, but grew tired of the arrangement. Transfer the attached files to a data chip. The files are bundled with a worm program that will auto-execute when inserted into the appropriate systems. You need to bring a decker, though one may be helpful. You need not bring a decker, though one might be helpful. You will need to plant data in the visitor record system, the camera systems in Hardingham and Taylor's lab. Financial data is to be transferred to Dr. Taylor's personal terminal. That in and on itself will not be enough to ensure Knight Errant involvement, however. Planting the data is only the first part of your task. This is where a heavier touch will be required. You will also need to steal the prototype laser weapon. There is a GPS tracking device attached to it, which Liu will plant deep in Red Dragon territory. The apparent theft of a prototype weapon by a disgruntled tribe member should convince Ares to dispatch overwhelming force against the Red Dragon, dealing them a vicious blow. As a note, Liu does not care what becomes of the laser weapon. If you wish to sell it or keep it, feel free. I have also attached the map of your extraction route from the building. During the facility's expansion in 2052, Ares Asia was forced to extend their foundations deeper into the island. They drove piles through the former site of the central MTR station, which partially collapsed during the Odalu Bay earthquake of 2044. Practically, this means that you can exit through the basement, which directly onto the new MTR line through Central. With any luck, you can be gone without anyone knowing. Unfortunately, this route is heavily alarmed, so you will be forced to go into the front door. If you can con the front desk, you should have no problems. The facility is both an office and a residence, so strange people coming and going at odd hours is not unusual. If you are not up for the task, however, be prepared to shoot your way in. Lu does not care if you are loud or quiet, but a word of caution. He came by all this information via the loose lips of one of the research team. Other fixers know of this job. Move fast and you are guaranteed success, but there are definitely other Shadowrunners with an eye on your prize. Take the run. Very well, Steel Arm Lu sends his regards and bids you good fortune and plentiful ammunition in the dramatic git. Don't die, Kordo. Your arrangement has been very profitable so far and I would hate to lose that. Restaurant job, or from Kindly Cheng. One of the things I've learned over the last years is that even the rich and powerful have annoyances, thorns in their side if you will. No one is without troubles, the rich just have different ways to solving them. The client for this run has grown tired of one particular thorn in his side, Choing Sing Rooster Lu. Lu is the red pole for one of the smaller trials here in Hong Kong, the 289s, or the Easy Money Gang, if you prefer. Despite the 289's small stature, Lowe's illegal activities have managed to damage the client's profits. Mr. Johnson would like you to help him show Lu the error of his ways. Lu takes an evening every few months to dine at the Shangri-La restaurant in Aberdeen. If you aren't aware, the Shangri-La is an elite establishment serving primarily corporate clientele from Wuxing Incorporated. Because of this, it's not unusual for diners to bring bodyguards or assistants with them. In Lou's case, he brings a particularly brutish enforcer known as the Talon and undoubtedly feels well protected. You are going to prove just how wrong he is in this regard. You are to kidnap Rooster Lou, so long as he's alive and in relatively good health. All options are on the table. While keeping the run quiet would make things easier for Mr. Johnson, no one will shed too many tears after a few dead trial thugs. The client has arranged an exit via boat. So long as you can get Lou from the interior of the restaurant's dock, the client will handle everything else. Despite being a red pole, Lou is a tactician, not a fighter. Don't expect him to put up much of a fight. The Talon, on the other hand, is as nasty as they come. Be careful about how you confront him, or things may go very badly. Take the run. I've let the client know you have accepted the job. By the time you arrive at Shangri-La, the boat to get you out will be waiting. You have 0 messages. Open the jobs directory, claim payments. You submit the job as finished and wait the response. A few months later, a message pops into the screen. Good work out there, 1100. Kid, here's the money, promised ya. Click there, blah blah blah. Okay. Go back. Shadowboard. Post pay data. Repulse Bay construction plans. Posting will remain active for 2 days. Read your old messages. No. Shadowlands. Keywords. Matching, local keywords. Typhoon. Da klicke ich jetzt einfach nur durch. Nur, falls hier irgendwas sein sollte, was irgendwie eine Relevanz hat. Aber das glaube ich nicht. Und das gleiche mache ich jetzt auch mit den Dialogen oben. Okay, das ist soweit klar. Get some rest. Dann werde ich da oben nochmal hin. Ich werde aber erst nochmal raus mit den Leuten reden. Rector. Das werde ich jetzt auch nicht lesen. Falls ihr jetzt, of course, you'll be the first man on the train when we head out. Found myself in a position to recover what's mine and to visit justice upon the villains who stole it. But if I'm not to do that, I will need your help. I'm short, my friend. I want, no, need you to bring me along on this job. Ja. Thank you, my friend. You will not regret this decision. Jetzt weiß ich aber nicht. Bla. Teller in Harningham, he speaks through clenched teeth. Kushai drags a claw across the ground and you can hear the School of Metal and Those aren't their real names, obviously. They shed their former identities when... Das ist über diese Mission, die wir jetzt angenommen hatten. All lives behind. What were they called when you worked with them back at Grishing Aviat Corps? It doesn't matter, those men are as dead to me as they are on the world. My old colleagues no longer exist. Taylor and Hardingham are all that remain. They are targets now, nothing more. He idly brushed Kushai's armored chassis with the fingertips of his right hand. Oh, how wonderful it will be to find them. What a reunion we will have. More to you than money, blah blah blah. Academic, ne. Boah, ja, es ist ja so viel wieder an Text. Durchgelabert. Das ist dasselbe wie vorher. Bla bla, come back later. Natürlich. Bla. Academic ist auf jeden Fall eine Sache, was immer wieder vorkommt. Mhm. Da haben wir anscheinend jetzt noch eine Quest bekommen, wenn ich die jetzt nicht das richtig überflogen habe. Und deshalb meinte ich halt auch, man weiß halt nie, ja, was halt in diesen ganzen Quests drinsteckt, also in den ganzen Dialogen. Da kann immer noch irgendwas sein. Our target is a local Decker, a former Wampunian in the Matrix. His name is Rhombus. He has the software we need. Unfortunately, he's unassailable from the Matrix and nobody knows where he lives in meat space, but I know where he's going to be. There's an event coming up that Rhombus can't afford to miss. He might already be on his way there. As you are reading the message, Deckers from all over Asia, Whitehead and Blackhead alike, are converging on the Harbor Spires Hotel. This year's Harbor Spires is hosting DeckCon, Hong Kong's largest annual decking convention. Rhombus is going to be there, and that gives us an opportunity. We are going to hit the convention, find him in meat space, and get the software away from him. And we're going to do it quietly and closely. You'll find a copy of the plan that I've worked out for the run, presented in bullet point format. Everything should be fairly straightforward. Zubel's image winks off at the screen, replaced by a blinking cursor. As you watch, the screen begins to fill with the lines of simple instructions. I will provide you and the other runner of your choice with visitor passes for the convention. I will proceed ahead of you using my own guest badge. I will hide in the woman's laboratory on the first floor. You will enter via the kitchen and procure me a uniform of the catering staff. Please be sure that the uniform is size 4. We will rendezvous. I will change the uniform, and using it I will infiltrate the administrative wing of the 6th floor. You will proceed in the convention hall and await further instructions. Using the admin computer I will identify Rhombus via his guest registration form. Once I have done this, I will alert you via comlink. I will upgrade your badge to VIP status, granting you access to the VIP wing of the hotel. You will tell Rhombus that he has been granted VIP status and offer to escort him to a complimentary hotel room. You will escort him to a room that I designate and hold him there. I will check out the Matrix and make my way from the admin wing to your room. We will intimidate Rhombus, beat the tar out of him until he gives us the software. We will tie and gag Rhombus and stuff him into a storage closet. We will not be gentle. It's okay if he starts crying. Actually, please prioritize this. I want to see tears. Software in tow, it will make our escape. The glowing text phases and Isabel winks back into the screen. See it? It's a simple plan, just like I said. We should be able to get through it without firing a shot. So will you do it? Will you help me to get the software I need? Take the run. The pre-recorded footage of Isabel winks off the screen. A real-time feed of a Matrix avatar replaces it. Excellent. I knew that I could count on you. Settle up, Coda. This is going to be fun. Go back. Walk away. Hast du noch was zu sagen? Nö, und du? Seafold for the fingernail, it's just to you. Why not? I've eaten worse. Defiance. Bla 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 bla. Wieder Epidemic. Epidemic, genau. Academic. Nochmal. Bla 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 bla. Ich glaube, allein dieses Gespräch hätte wahrscheinlich schon eine Stunde gedauert. Okay, dann müssen wir noch draußen mit den Leutchen wieder reden. Da werde ich aber auch nicht alles durchlesen, sondern viel Klicki-Klicki machen. Da unten war noch einer, oder? Bla bla. Moment, hat die nochmal? Nö. Okay. Hm. Da haben wir jetzt auch neue Rüstung. Mit 6 Schutz. Ja, erzähl mir mehr über deine Familie. Unbedingt. Da ist wer Neues. The most immediately noticeable thing about this orc is immaculately maintained red mohawk and the beer he's busily nursing. He fixes you with a mischievous grin as you approach, touching 2 fingers to his brow in salute. Hey there, Chief, what's cracking? Do I know you? Extending his hand, the orc shakes his head. No, but you might want to, at least if you need a shaman on your crew. Illuminati, bla 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 bla. Es ist einer, den wir rekrutieren können. Okay, ja, interessiert mich nicht. Ja, ich will den anderen anklicken. Okay, den da noch. Okay, dann gehen wir noch zur Mutti. Outfits, Armor 6. Mhm. Smart Link für 2000. Range Combat 6. Includes an integral Smart Link system. Pierces up to 1 armor. Für 2500. Na, ich meine, ich könnte es, braucht aber auch 6 Range Combat. So viel haben wir halt auch gar nicht. Da kommen wir auch nicht dran. Doch, könnten wir 18. Ne, könnten wir nicht dran. Daher macht es auch noch keinen Sinn, das zu kaufen. Kleinere Schritte will ich nicht machen. Aber vielleicht würde es Sinn machen. Oder wir können hier durch Ranged Combat erhöhen. I cut the bullshit and give you some drawn low on Hong Kong from an expert runner perspective. In return, you don't dig for my jobs list. Deal. Cyberware Affinity mehr. Mhm. Na, das hatte ich glaube ich beim letzten Mal. Das ist halt ziemlich ziemlich unsinnig, wenn man das triggern muss. Ich weiß nicht mehr, ob das ein AP genutzt hatte. Ich glaube ja. Ja, man das ja filtern könnte. Ah, kann man. Brain. Boost the user's knowledge-based skills. Passive 1 intelligence. Eyes. Grants an attack that blinds an enemy if successful. Kostet 2 AP. Ja, toll. Vision 3%. Naja. Nö. Let's paint the target with a laser, making it easier for your team. Nee. Ah, 0 AP. Doch, das macht Sinn. Kostet halt auch 1500. Gekauft. Nehmen wir Arm. Useful for deckers and riggers who don't want to sacrifice available hardware space, was? Silvertime based Limp Mimics 6 HP. Na. Das hier klingt ordentlich. Plus 1 Ranged Combat. Plus 1 Quickness. Braucht man Affinity 1. Nehmen wir das. Ja, ja. Und der Body ist das. Unlocks Eviscerate in Hand Razors and Spurs. Compound Attack for Hand Razors. Quatsch. Quickness und ein Ranged Combat. Dann sind wir auch soweit pleite. Bisschen Geld ist noch übrig, aber... Rifle werde ich jetzt... Kann ich Rifle jetzt auch auf 6 erhöhen? Nope. Aber immerhin wird die Trefferchance erhöht. Naja. Gucken wir uns später nochmal an. Dann reden wir nochmal mit dem hier. Dann gehen wir schlafen. Und da muss ich nochmal wahrscheinlich mit allen reden. Metadata. Naja, das machen wir nicht. Weiß nicht, was das für negative Auswirkungen auf den Vampir hat. Ja, so mit dem schnellen Durchklicken von den Dialogen geht's halbwegs. Und wir jetzt bald in die nächste Mission kommen. Ja, dann mache ich hier einen Schnitt und dann schauen wir beim nächsten Mal weiter. Bis dann!